right, so hello and welcome. It's been a little while since I've posted a video on YouTube, so I'm actually going to be doing 2 in one day today. We are entering my favorite season of all time, Virgo season. I have a Virgo moon on my tropical chart, and in my sidereal chart, I am a Virgo rising. So I have strong Virgo placements also elsewhere in my chart, but that's not a conversation for right now. But in this video, what we're going to be doing is a pick a card reading. Not only have I not posted a video in a while, but it's been even longer since I've done a pick a card reading. So we're going to be doing a pick a card reading because we're entering Virgo season. And also not only are we entering Virgo season, but it's going to be a Virgo new moon on the 27th. So Virgo season technically starts on August 23rd, but it actually legitimately starts once the sun moves into Virgo, and that will happen at exactly about 11:30ish p.m. Eastern time. So this video is a celebration in regard to that transition that will be happening and the transition that will be happening on August 27th as well. So we're going to go into like a little bit of basics about Virgo. I'm not going to get too much into the transition and what that means because I will be posting a video for all 12 zodiac signs. And in that video, I'll go a little bit more in depth about the transition and what it should mean for each sign. But here, what we're going to be focused on is the basics of Virgo energy and what you could do during this season to enhance your solar plexus chakra. So Virgo represents health and wellness, and in Eastern cultures, if someone is unhealthy physically or mentally, it's custom to look into the chakra system to determine the true cause of the sickness. So there are 7 commonly known chakras. However, there are actually 9 chakras. If chakras are something that interests you, I highly suggest that you look into this, and I will put up a good suggestion for a book for you to look more deeply into chakras, the chakra system, and the 9 chakras rather than the commonly known 7. Here, what we're going to be focused on is the solar plexus chakra because Virgo rules the gut, it rules the digestive system, health and wellness. And the solar plexus chakra, it doesn't necessarily rule over stomach, but it does rule over the liver, the spleen, and the gallbladder. And the gallbladder has direct connection to the stomach. More importantly, the solar plexus is where we get a sense of personal power, our self-esteem, reliability. And when our solar plexus is not either overactive or underactive, there will be food allergies, parasites, diabetes, stomach problems, ulcers, shingles, obesity, stress-related skin conditions, and a lack of memory. Emotionally, if we have an overactive solar plexus chakra, we'll have stubbornness, dread, inability to relax, anger, over perfectionism, which is a quality seen a lot in Virgos. Virgos are known to be perfectionists. An underactive chakra will cause apathy, feeling of rejection, mistrust, worries, codependency, dependency, addiction. But when the solar plexus is balanced, what we feel is an affirmation of self, the ability to shine and take your place and have joyful and productive lives. Yeah, I said that right. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking down at my little chakra chart. I really implore getting one of these as well. They're very good for, although I have a great memory, I remember a lot of things, it's nice to have a informational piece physically here, not something saved on my phone like a screenshot or whatnot, because it helps ground me when I am trying to relearn things for the sake of realtering my own mind. Okay, so let's go into it. So I pulled 4 cards. We have 4 cards with 4 different crystals, and what I'll be doing is on these cards will be an oracle message from the fairies telling you how you can improve your solar plexus chakra. With each card pile, we'll be going into whether or not the cards are telling me whether your solar plexus is underactive or overactive. Some may be both. I don't know. I didn't look at the cards, guys. So I'm going to be going at this kind of blind right now, which is kind of exciting because it's been a while since I've really done this, and I got to a point where I was so organized with it, and so I would overthink to a point where I would plan out every detail, and sometimes that's great because I think it does make for great readings and concise readings, but sometimes I think it's kind of not only fun, but it's actually better to just kind of tap into the truest, rawest form of my intuitive powers and just kind of go at it free form, off the top of the head, So that's really what you guys are getting with this pick a card reading. I will say that the zodiac reading is a little bit more organized. So let me introduce the piles for you guys. So we have pile 1, which has tiger's eye on it. We have pile 2, which has aventurine. We have pile 3, which has rose quartz. And then we have pile 4, which has amethyst on it. So I'm going to leave about 60 seconds of meditation music for you guys to go ahead and choose which pile is calling out to you. And then I'm going to jump right into it. All right, so pile number 1, you chose the tiger's eye. Let's see what the main thing you can do to enhance your solar plexus is. Enhance or take down a notch. So we have here, believe in magic, open your eyes and see the magic that's all around in nature. The fairy of the northern lights says you are part of nature, so you are magical too. Which is funny because the affirmation for solar plexus is I feel my purpose in life and I trust the direction I take. I think that in regard to this is funny too because there's the green coming out of here. So I think that there could be issues with the heart chakra as well for you. And even the purple on here. Okay, I know this sounds like a lot, but it is what it is. It feels like you're having kind of a war of the chakras in the sense that I see the heart chakra is greatly affected here, right? I see that something needs to be released from the heart field. Then more importantly, the crown chakra is blocked, which takes away your sense of connecting to the higher powers, passed away loved ones. Your spiritual system has been greatly altered due to this disconnection in the heart. You could have experienced a loss, or you could be, I'm feeling like a tower moment happening. If you know about tarot, I'm feeling that you're someone who experienced a tower moment or senses a tower moment is coming. And here we also have like the colors of blue mixed in. So I feel like there's also an issue with the throat chakra where it's like your throat chakra is underactive, your crown chakra is underactive, your heart chakra is underactive, which is making your solar plexus underactive. But the one chakra that's overactive is your third eye. You're seeing a lot of different things through your third eye and you're believing in those things, but you should make sure to know the difference between intuition and paranoia. Your third eye, when it's overactive, you can experience a lot of paranoia, fantasies. You live in a world of dissociation. You start dissociating from reality and you start to believe your own thoughts, right? And that's great. And this card is even telling you to believe your thoughts. But the power in believing your thoughts is that if your thoughts are negative, you're going to be in a place of disarray. So you want to believe your thoughts, but you should make your thoughts more positive. And the way you start by doing that is believing in magic, right? The northern lights are something that is only seen in certain parts of the world. I should know the parts, but right now I have pregnancy brain, so I'm forgetting a lot of basic facts that I used to know, which is why I got my chakra sheet over here. But either way, I did just read in the newspaper and a few different news outlets that the Northern Lights are going to be seen from the United States of America, most specifically in sections of North America where they've never been seen before, not in our generation, our lifetime, or even in the couple past lifetimes before us. So I say that to say that magic is happening everywhere, especially within you. So I go on to say that taking some time in nature, where you're around magical things such as the Northern Lights, would be very beneficial to you, because taking a moment to see the beauty and to come out of your third eye and into reality will help you start to assert and ground yourself. So yeah, overall, what I'm feeling for pile number 1, 100%, is this need to ground yourself. You really need to ground yourself in reality right now. You should work on some grounding methods, walking barefoot outside, walk more barefoot around your own home if possible. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull a Flowers of the Night Oracle just to get some words of wisdom for you to help guide you. I think now is a good time to say that the solar plexus is represented by the color yellow. You should really look at the color yellow, wear the color yellow, help ground yourself by kind of surrounding yourself with yellow lights. And like yellow lights could mean a fire, so I'm hearing like a bonfire outside. So let's see what the words of wisdom are saying for you. Let me do this intuitively first, actually. So sensitivity came out. With both the Northern Lights and the sensitivity card being relevant here, I think that it's important that you don't only go, I think that's why the bonfire is coming to me. I don't think it's just important that you go outside. I think you should go outside at night. I think you should be moon watching, stargazing, doing a bonfire. I think that during the day, there's something that will impede you. I'm sensing that either you have like some type of responsibility during the day, or you worry too much during the day. You need to be outside when it's, although nature is most of the time silent, depending on where you live, nature can still be noisy because nature could be filled with other people. So like say you go on a hike at a common hiking trail in your city or wherever you are, you'll end up having to speak with people or be near people. And I don't see that as being a good thing right now. I think that for you, you need to kind of be isolated. So you need to go out and do things at night, even if it's just sitting on your own porch. I think that that's 100% like what's kind of calling you. All right, so what we had here is the aardvark. Yeah, it says the aardvark is a nocturnal burrowing mammal, also native to South Africa. It feeds on ants and termites, which earns its name in some areas as the African ant bear. I think that was super relevant. I think that definitely it's about you being in nature at night, nocturnal. I think also you can be experiencing some bad dreams. It might be hard for you to sleep right now because your third eye is so overactive, so you're having like nightmares, right? So to avoid that, maybe spending a few minutes outside before you go to sleep, just a couple minutes even. Honestly, it could change your whole evening, you know? I think that after you go through a long day of responsibility or whatever it is that you do, or just overthinking or having like a high mentality job, you then come home and you're almost like trapped, you know, like, and you're not as trapped as you believe you are. Like you can walk outside, even if it's just to walk in your driveway, take a look at the stars for a second. Like you need to do that. So emotions, feelings, and sensitivities are all very strong at present and may cause decisions to be more difficult. You might even find that a clear answer is not possible at all. Be extra considerate and kind to others because someone really needs you and your compassion. The core of an issue will be difficult to see right now, but patience and gentle approach will assist in understanding. A romantic encounter, an increase in feelings of love for someone, and the deepening of commitment are all possible. This is due to a change in the energies associated with true feelings for the better. This is a good time to express how you feel about someone or something. Be aware that under the energy of the night gladiolus, that's the flower on the card, a person can easily fall into a role of victim due to the rise in everyone's emotions and sensitivities. And the affirmation is, I make space and boundaries for feelings. The keywords are sensitivity, empathy, compassion, romance, feelings, neediness, and victim. So I think that I was kind of spot on with saying that your solar plexus is underactive. I think that you may be dealing with some neediness, some dependency. I think that in your case, this love deepening that this is talking about, it feels like it's more like a parent-child love, a familial love or platonic love. Also, I feel like it's more of a self-love or a divine love. Like I had said in the beginning, you're kind of disconnected from spirit, from the spirit realm right now. I feel like that wants to strengthen. There's something you've been avoiding because you've been in a physical relationship, a romantic relationship, and it was unreciprocated. And you are confessing your feelings a lot there, but you're not giving yourself the boundary to say like, wow, like my feelings have not been reciprocated. I'm not getting the same energy that I'm giving out. I think it's time for me to take a step back. Instead, you're plotting, planning, and strategizing about how to move forward with this love when it's really like not necessary. And I'm not going to say like, I don't want to focus too much energy on this other party or anything like that, because I feel like it's not about them. This is about you. Whatever's meant to be will be. If this person and you are meant to be together on a romantic level for like ever and ever, and this is your true one and only love of your life, then things will work out. And you taking a break to focus on you or focus on your spiritual self, master self, love yourself, respect yourself, it wouldn't take away from that. And I think that's probably something you need to hear right now, is that if you take time to work on you, then there's nothing in the world that shouldn't jeopardize a future with someone in any way, shape, or form. It really shouldn't. And if it does, then I hate to say it bluntly, but well, I don't hate to say it bluntly. I'm going to just say it bluntly, but that person's not for you. They're not your true love. They're not your one and only, and they're not the love of your life, because there's going to be someone out there who respects you and who respects your growth process. The person you're with right now, I don't think that they want to hinder your growth process in any way. I actually think that the energy I'm picking up is that they're focused on their own growth process. And by them focusing on their growth process, it feels like a slap in the face to you, because you've sacrificed so much to be inside this relationship that now that they're taking a step back emotionally, spiritually, maybe even physically, maybe they've moved, I don't know, but because of this, it feels like you have more time on your hands, and it's almost like you want to blame this other person because of that. But there's nothing to blame. Take this as an opportunity for you to fill your time with more productive things. Like we said with the affirmation, I feel my purpose in life. Was your purpose to be available to this person at the drop of a hat? No. Our purpose is more important than that. It's more important than just fulfilling one other person's needs in life. In my book, I talk about this a lot, but I say like, I had to realize for myself a long time ago that I could stay in a physical romantic relationship and help one person and give them my all, or I could go off into the world, get my degree, write these books, start a YouTube channel, and I could try to help millions of people. I mean, I don't have millions of followers yet, but the point is that we have choices in life, and you shouldn't be limited to just wanting to satisfy, appease, or help one person. You're worth more than that. And if you are going to put all your energy into helping one person, what I tell people is that the best person to help is yourself. If you're going to put all your energy into mastering one person on this earth, make it yourself, because you are the only person you are going to know for your entire life, from childhood to adulthood. Other people come and go like seasons. We may want to believe it or not believe it, but even if somebody is the love of your life and they're your forever love, there's technically no such thing as forever in the physical realm. One of you will have to die first. And I try to say that humbly and respectfully. I don't want that to hit too hard or resonate, or you guys think that I'm saying like such and such is going to happen to your partner. No, but I think we've all seen The Notebook. I think The Notebook is it's a really good example of what it could be. Honestly, I'm glad I mentioned that. You should really watch The Notebook, because that's a great like depiction of two souls who had to grow apart in order to eventually grow together. And even once they grew together, one lost their mind quite literally before they exited this world. So it's sad, but at the end of the day, we are individual human beings having individual experiences. So I just want to go ahead and I just wanted to say all that. That was all very important, I feel like, for you. All right, but I'm going to close it off here. I wanted this pick a card reading to just be quick and right to the point, and I really feel like that was for you. If you're more interested in knowing more about the Virgo season or how you can enhance the messages I just gave to you, or you want more specific read on your love life, etc., I would definitely check out the Zodiac reading, because I'll be tapping into money, career, love, all that good stuff, all right? All right, so pile number 2, you guys are the ones who chose the Aventurin, which I used to always say Aventurine because of the group Aventura. It's spelled very similar. Let's see what you guys can do to enhance your solar plexus. I have motivation. When spring approaches, the flower fairies urge you to spring into action. If there's something you've been merely thinking about doing, they say get busy and do it. So I think this is super relevant with the Virgo season, because Virgo is all about planning, organization, and I actually implore you to please watch your zodiac section, your zodiac, when I put up the zodiac reading, because that one will go a little bit more into detail about what you should be planning and plotting and organizing. And like I said, I'm going to go into more detail about Virgo season. I'm going to go more into detail about the astrological transits occurring during Virgo season, which will be very relevant to you. With you guys, motivation is very, very significant to the solar plexus chakra, because the solar plexus chakra is all about feeling your purpose in life and trusting the direction that you take. You've already been receiving downloads. This is somebody rejoicing, very much so. This fairy is rejoicing. She's excited to see this flower. She's excited for spring to come. And with Virgo season, we're actually moving into autumn. It's a new season. Summer's over. We're moving into the end of part of the year, but we still have all of autumn left, and there are lots of beautiful things that happen in autumn. So I think that what this is saying is that, first off, I think that you have an underactive solar plexus chakra. I think that you could be dealing with dependency, depression, apathy, just feeling like, what is life? And kind of just like, it's like a muggy day for you every day. I think in regard to the solar plexus, this is very significant, because I feel like with the solar plexus, it talks about sense of personal power, self-esteem, and reliability. Virgo is all about reliability, consistency, routine. So I think that this is about basically not just thinking about this idea that you have, this endeavor, this creative project, whatever it could be that it is that you're thinking about. This is about actually bringing it to life. And I think that by beginning the steps, by creating deadlines, by starting, even having one thing that you do daily to bring you closer to your goal, it will give you a sense of personal power. It will give you a sense of higher self-esteem. It will take you out of this apathetic viewpoint you have towards life, almost pessimistic viewpoint towards life. I think that you'll be more in a childlike nature, because you'll have something that you'll be excited about again, and you'll have something that you'll be able to move into you'll have something that you'll be able to move into with pleasure and joy, which is something I see as something very lacking from your life. So I see also a root chakra disconnection as well here. I see that with the root chakra is all about confidence, and it's all about the awareness of the physical body, physical survival, connection to identity, who we are, why we're here. So it's very closely linked to the sacral chakra, to the solar plexus. And it's because the solar plexus talks about purpose in life, but you can't know your purpose in life until you have a strong sense of identity, right? So if you lack a sense of identity, you're going to ultimately lack purpose in life. So I'm sensing that you need to kind of come back to the root chakra as well. I'm feeling like that could be also underactive. An underactive root chakra looks like low self-esteem, insecurities, poor focus, low libido, lack of energy, lack of coordination, loneliness, and depression, which is, like I said, it very much coincides with the underactive symptoms of a solar plexus chakra. So I think that because you have both of these in this underactive state, I think that it's hard for you to become mobile. It's hard for you to work towards a goal. I'm sensing for some people that it could almost be to a weight loss goal or something concerning weight or the physical body. Yeah, which is funny because it says here, I didn't even realize, but physical, you have weight issues, problems with the legs, knees, or feet, varicose veins, insomnia, and addictions. So it could be that you're trying to do something in the physical body and you need more motivation to do so. So what I'll say with that is, if you are trying to lose weight, so this is coming from somebody who actually was very overweight in high school, lost a lot of weight after high school. Essentially, the best thing for you to do is add one thing to your routine that will not only make you feel good physically, but also makes you feel good mentally and spiritually as well. For me, it was cardio. Doing some type of cardio daily was very effective for me and my body. So I'm not going to go ahead and recommend cardio 100%, but what I will say is that choosing something that works for you, works for your body, and doesn't only make you feel good physically or give you the foresight of a physical goal, because obviously I knew if I did cardio every day I was going to lose weight. I also felt good doing cardio. It literally made me feel empowered to do cardio. So you need to find something that makes you feel empowered. If it makes you feel empowered to eat a yogurt every day and start there, then start there, right? But what this is saying is that during Virgo season, this is the opportune time to get motivated by putting in something and doing something in daily that will ultimately bring you closer to an ultimate goal. All right, so what I'm doing next is I'm going to go ahead and pull Flowers of the Night Oracle, just get some words of motivation, words of encouragement, just to kind of go deeper into, that was your card right there. I think you might have two cards. Yeah, so we have awareness and creation. So first we have awareness. And I think intuitively what I'm going to say about this card is it's really saying to become aware of your body, feel your body, be inside your body. With depression, sometimes it feels like we're kind of having out-of-body experiences. We can't even connect to our bodies. So I think that massage would be a good thing for you to start with as well. Just touching your body, even if you do it within the shower. I'm hearing showers are a good thing for you. Take an extra 5 minutes in the shower to just stand and let the water flow over your body. And then we have creation. And I think that creation is important because we create the realities that we live in. There may be something that you don't necessarily like about your physical reality. For others, I'm sensing that this has nothing to do with the physical body, but more of a financial goal. There may be things you don't like about not having the finances that you desire, right? But at the end of the day, all of this is within the mind. Like, you've lived this long, however you are now, which means it's possible. It's great to want more, but it's not okay to self-pity. So you have to remember that you are in control of your own life. You're in control of your emotions. You're in control of your thought process. You're in control of your body. So when you take back that control, you're able to create a reality of infinite possibilities. So let me go ahead and read creation first, because it's going to come in the book first. So we have This is funny because the plant on creation is actually night blooming daylily. And in China and Japan, this is used as a cooking ingredient. So I definitely feel like this could be connected to food for some people. Now, the words of advice say, fertility and the abundant growth of what you have already begun is very strongly connected with this flower. You could find new enthusiasm and favorable situations occurring, and even an inflow of resources and material wealth. Someone's birth or the news of such a wonderful occasion could be near. Creativity in all its forms, including the creation of partnerships, friendships, romantic matchings, as well as physical, artistic, and creative pursuits, are all inspired under the energy of the night blooming daylily. Be warned not to get too carried away with external appearances and status. Ego needs to be checked, and there actually is the chance of missing out on something very valuable because of a fixation on perfection or outer appearances. I think that that's very relevant because I said it before, but I know I'm going to cut it out, but I'm going to come back to it here and just say that for somebody like me who lost a lot of weight and now becoming pregnant, gaining weight has been a big hit on my ego, right? I've really had to focus in on the fact that I'm creating new life. And as a result, my body has had to make some sacrifices, but this version of my body is not the forever version. It's a temporary version, and it's for the sake of a greater good. And eventually I will have the time and the space to make a change to that, to create my new reality, which will also be temporary, because at the end of the day, nothing lasts forever, right? Even when I lost the weight the first time around, I thought I'm never going back, but I never calculated in the fact that pregnancy would ultimately kind of, make me gain weight. So at the end of the day, I think that ego is very important here. Check your ego and make sure that you're not putting too much value on your outer appearance, not putting too much value on your financial situation. Becoming pregnant for me has also been a very big hit on my career. And so I speak from personal experience that becoming humble, being humble in your circumstances, and remembering that things happen in seasons is very, very helpful for your mindset to stop you from going into a depression where you become so what's the word I'm looking for? It just stops you from becoming so disabled from progress, right? From hindering you from progress. Like I said, guys, pregnancy brain. So my words, I'm sorry if some of this is coming out like mumbo jumbo. Anyways, the affirmation is, I create and grow in abundance and joy. And the key words are creation, creativity, birth, beginnings, luck, abundance, improvement, conceit, and narcissism. So conceit, like conceitedness. Very interesting. All right, let's go to your second one. And I don't know why I said creation would come first in the book. Your first one is awareness. Awareness is definitely first in the book. A is before C. Either way, let's jump into it. So things that have been hidden, hard to reach or understand will suddenly be illuminated and available. Patterns and habits, as well as the opportunities to break them, are in focus. It's a great time to release past hurts and disappointments. You know what needs to be done. Improvement in intuition and psychic abilities should be released, and it's a good time to look a little deeper at messages and even hunches you may experience. You probably know a lot more than you realize, and so additional exploration of your nightly dreams should reveal important information. Connection with the divine feminine and higher spiritual practices is offered to those who wish to align with the moonflower vine. Challenges may be that you find it all too easy to retreat into the dark, even becoming depressed and withdrawn. Be careful of this time of deception. The affirmation is, I am awake and aware and illuminating light. And the keywords are awareness, divine feminine, dreams, healing, intuition, and habits. And also, I'm going to pull it back here. There are monolithic human figures known as the Moai on this card. And they were carved by Rapa Nui, the Rapa Nui people, and are living faces of ancestors. And I think that this is very important for you, because I think that in regard to the awareness I was speaking about becoming more aware of your body, what it's talking about becoming more aware of your intuition, the messages surrounding you. I think that you could actually be receiving a lot of messages from your ancestors that you're kind of ignoring. I think that you see things daily probably that tell you to get up out of bed, get up out of the funk, change your point of view. And I think that they are leading you down a path to bring you closer to your roots. And I say that because earlier I said that you could have a disconnection with your root chakra. I think that connecting with your ancestors, connecting with the higher powers, and connecting with this having a spiritual relationship with your ancestors and passed away loved ones will enhance your root chakra, ultimately enhancing your solar plexus chakra. This is a very divine time to do that, considering Halloween is coming up. Halloween, as you guys should know from my Halloween videos, is a divine time to connect with passed on loved ones and ancestors, because the veil starts to thin in autumn. So as we get through summer and as we approach into autumn season, as we get closer and closer to October 31st, it becomes easier and easier to receive and give messages to our ancestors. It's an opportune time to pray, and it's a very opportune time to meditate. So with that being said, I think that connecting with your root chakra should be very, I'm not going to say easy, but I'm going to say that doing something as simple as getting an altar dedicated to your ancestors, whatever ethnicity or culture you are, will be the first step to you realizing your identity, which will then be the first step that you need, first step completed that you need to get into the second step, which is getting into the habits, and what this card also talked about, right? Is instating daily habits, like I've been talking about since the first card, that will help you get closer to an ultimate goal. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and close this off here. I definitely think with this card, you guys would really benefit from checking out the Zodiac and to get some more information in regard to how Virgo season is going to treat you specifically. But in the meantime, I hope that these messages were helpful, and I hope you have a very fortunate and favored day. All right, pile number 3. So what we have here is abundance. Prepare yourself for incoming abundance. Release any mental blocks you may have. In fairyland and human land, there is enough abundance for everyone. First and foremost, I am sensing that, okay, so this just got overwhelming because this is like a couple different storylines I can go with, and I'm not really doing storylines for these readings. I want to just focus on core messages. I'm sensing that the sense of rejection is very significant here, which is a sign of an underactive solar plexus chakra. I'm sensing that someone has been chosen other than you in some sense, whether it's career, relationship, and maybe it's not even a reality, but you could feel that way. It's like you're like the last pick for the kickball team. You're always the last person to be picked. And it makes you feel like you're missing out on something. I want to start by saying that nothing that's meant for you will ever pass you by. So let's just start there. Secondly, the next thing I'm seeing or feeling or sensing is that you feel like there's not enough room at the table for everyone to eat. And I also don't think that's a fact. I think that there's enough room at the table for everyone to eat. There's nothing new under the sun, which means that there are thousands of people in the same career who prosper and do very well and have very abundant lifestyles. And you don't have to be a millionaire to have an abundant lifestyle. I think that's another important thing that you need to hear. You don't have to be a millionaire to have an abundant lifestyle. So with that being said, I think that for you, I think that it's very important right now for you to work on your strengths and your talents versus focusing on rejection or focusing on anything that you consider to be a weakness. I was just having this conversation with a close friend of mine in regard to this, but it's very important that we don't hyper focus on what we consider to be a weakness or what we consider to be our downfalls, especially when we're looking into the past. One, because the past is filled with lessons, not chances. And secondly, because working on our weaknesses is a waste of time and energy, right? Everybody is made on this earth differently. What's a weakness for you is a strength for somebody else. What's a weakness for someone else is a strength for you. This is why, as humans, we get into a sense of like individualism and we want to be multifaceted human beings who are great at everything. But the truth is some of the best teams have players who play off each other's strengths and weaknesses. So keep that in mind when you are hyper focused on what you consider to be a weakness. What could be a weakness for you could just be honestly an opening for you to meet someone, platonic, romantic, familial, or even career-based, that can help you enhance that because it's a strength that they have. And the strengths you have could be qualities that they are looking for. It could also be that your strengths at certain times in your life have intimidated people. You want to believe that your weakness is the reason that someone didn't pick you or choose you, but truthfully, it could be that you could have just been stronger than them, had similar strengths as them, strengths they haven't attuned or worked on just yet, and having you in their realm, having you in their vicinity would actually make them feel meek and small. All right, so let's go into some wise words that could help you on your journey. I'm going to do this from the Flowers of the Night Oracle. Oh, well, that was very easy. Acceptance came out. So I think that this is very important because you're in a place where you need to accept your circumstances as they are and not be so hyper focused on why things haven't gone the way that you quote unquote envisioned them. One of my favorite things to tell people is that it's not why, like asking why sometimes becomes redundant and stressful. You need to ask yourself, what do you do next? Rejection is redirection, right? So in any form, career, financial, romantic, even platonic or familial situations, anytime you've been rejected, it was because you were being redirected towards something that was meant for you. I don't really like superlatives, so I'm not going to say better or worse, but what I'm going to say is that what is meant for you, like I said earlier, is always going to reach you. It will always come to be. So if you're being rejected from something, it's because it wasn't meant to be. And it's time to accept that. Accept that the things that did not come to be were not meant to be, and not ask yourself why or what's the deeper meaning. Those will all come to you when the time is right and when the higher powers believe that it's time for you to understand. It could be that you're not in a place where you'll truly understand it. So you just need to accept it as is and move on from it and move in the direction that you feel you're being pushed to. And there, when you get to that destination, you will have that moment of clarity and understanding, right? I think it's a very daunting feeling to constantly want to understand things. It could be very, very tiring and almost depressing and very, very stressful. So stop trying to understand things and just accept them and just go with the flow, right? So by making peace now with what you may find unchangeable, you could find a new way forward. Evening primrose indicates that emotional support is needed and offered. Often when we feel held in this space, we will naturally improve our outlook considerably. Your commitment to a project, idea, or relationship will be required. This energy also aligns with parental relationships, which may be tested at present. This flower helps immensely with family relationships and can send a message that things are improving, but that you need to set firm boundaries to protect yourself. You could be facing rejection soon and are reminded that it is not you who is being rejected, but rather something that you are doing or connected with. This is the time to work on what you really want to invest your emotions in. The affirmation is, I am emotionally courageous and strong, and the keywords are acceptance, emotional support, female parents' commitment and rejection. I think that's very significant and very well said in regard to everything I've just said about rejection. I think I want to just touch base on this part here that says it's not you who is being rejected, but rather something that you are doing or connected with. Remember what I said? It could be that you could be intimidating the people that you are expecting some sort of higher, deeper connection with, whether career, familial, romantic, or it could also be that on a deeper level, you could be connected with a sense of self. You could be highlighting your own weaknesses, which comes off as insecurity. And I think that that's something that you need to be cautious of, because moving in the world with confidence is key. And also fake it till you make it. If you're going for a job interview and there may be something that you don't quite know, it's best to just say, like, it's best to act as if you know, because honestly, you could be 100% qualified for a position, but if you doubt your ability to learn new things while on the job, you're going to be rejected, right? So people don't want people who doubt themselves. And that even goes for familial relationships and romantic relationships. If you're doubting your ability to do something and it's very clear in the words you use and the vocabulary you use, then that's going to be something that turns people off from wanting to ask you to assist them or wanting you to join them in certain endeavors in their life. So just keep that in mind. So I do want to just point out here that there's a sweet bee, the night flying sweat bee on this card, and they are active at night and navigate by the light of the moon and the stars. And I think that's very significant for your lifestyle, because like I said, you should be really going with the flow right now. You shouldn't be trying to force anything that hasn't come to existence yet. Like anything that we have to force is not meant for us, right? So move in the direction that you feel like you're being guided to after all of this sense of rejection has occurred in your life. And I think that by doing that for you, it would be very important to focus on a spiritual connection with higher powers, ancestors, passed away loved ones, candle magic, lighting candles with affirmations to manifest, to ask for signs, going under the moon gazing, stargazing. These things will help you move towards the light and away from this darkness of rejection and depression that you could be possibly experiencing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close this off here. If you want anything more specific about what you could do during this Virgo season to help you accept the changes that are happening in your life, I highly suggest that you listen to the zodiac reading that will be posted as well, and that will give you a little bit of a better idea. But I hope that this gave you a little bit of an inside look into what your Virgo season is going to look like, and I thank you, and I hope you have a favored and fortunate day. All right, so pile number 4, you chose the amethyst. The fairy queen of light comes to shed love and light onto your current situation and to remind you that the light can penetrate the darkness. So, I think this is very significant. I think that you're someone who, first off, you may have been attracted to another pile. I'm not going to say which pile, but I'm sensing some heart chakra issues here. I'm sensing that I'm just going to pull one clarifier because I want to see if this is an overactive heart chakra or an underactive heart chakra. I'm feeling overactive. You're the only pile I pulled any tarot for too, so. It's funny too because this is a 6 of Wands and he's literally on a horse with a green covering. I feel like it's overactive because the overactive chakra is feeling attacked, selfishness, excessive, secretiveness, and jealousy. We have 6 of Wands, the world, and the moon. The 6 of Wands is news coming in. The world represents having the world in the palm of your hands, right? New opportunities, a trip. Then the moon represents deception or delays, emotions up or down, maybe deceiving yourself emotionally or others. I feel like you are someone who's feeling especially with the light coming through, you need light to penetrate the darkness, which is this moon is a deception for you because you feel like you're in the light because you feel your emotions so strongly right now. It's almost like a stubbornness. You're deceiving yourself emotionally and others. You believe that you deserve something or someone. You also believe that someone or something should be happy to have you. But what I'm sensing is you're somebody who's not living in your true light. You're somebody who's kind of living with a mask on right now. I think you're someone who deals with some intimacy issues. I feel as if you're not seeing this situation clearly or objectively. I feel like you're looking at it through rose-colored glasses. I also think that you're not seeing how your own actions have contributed to the reality you're living in right now, which is why this light needs to come in. It literally says light comes to shed a love and light onto your current situation and to remind you that light can penetrate the darkness. I think it's okay to feel emotions, but I think that you're essentially only feeling shallow emotions. I think you need to look more deeply into what you really feel, which is why I think I was torn between the underactive and the overactive. I think that your heart chakra is overactive, but I think that you're hiding some of the underactive qualities, which is afraid of letting go, feeling withdrawn, feeling unworthy of love. So you're feeling these emotions and you're telling yourself and hyping up your own head, deceiving yourself emotionally to say, I deserved that. You don't, like, almost telling another person too, like, you don't deserve me and how great I've been. But in reality, you actually feel unworthy of love. You actually feel, not only do you feel disrespected, but you do realize that you may have disrespected another person. And it's a hard thing for you to admit or accept, because by admitting or accepting this, not only are you admitting defeat, but you're also scared of having to possibly let go of being right, but also let go of this other person and having to go off into the world alone and possibly have to start all over from scratch. The letter of news coming in, victory news, is you keep hearing information about this person or this situation, and it's solidifying your belief that you've been victimized in some way. With the Six of Wands, he's wearing a red cape on the green horse. It seems like there's a root chakra issue as well. You don't feel connected to your own identity. You've lost your identity in this person or this place or this thing somehow. And as a result, this is what's making you feel as if you're the victim, because you've sacrificed so much that you feel like if you have to walk away, you're walking away with nothing. And well, let's tie this all back to the solar plexus as well. Light, in the regard that you need it, would be the sun. The solar plexus is represented by the sun in the planets, right? It's represented by the color yellow. I think that you are someone who needs to rebuild your self-esteem, because the solar plexus is connected with self-esteem. And I think that you're someone who needs to reconnect with self in your root chakra, ground yourself for the sake of building your self-esteem to a healthy place. I think that you're overconfident and you're also, it's almost arrogance. And I think you need to bring yourself down to a place of humility, accept your own accountability in a situation, and realize that, I think you need to realize you have much more than you think you do left. I think that you need to be gracious in the way you're moving. And I also think that you need to have gratitude for the things that you have. I think that you're not someone who is 100% broke, or I think you have, if this is a relationship, you have family to go to. If this is a job, you have other job opportunities to go to. You're just kind of being stubborn it's almost as if you feel like this person owes you now because so much has been sacrificed. So now you feel like you're owed a certain lifestyle. So with that being said, I think that you need to 100% realize as well that self-love is the best love. And by keeping this person under your thumb in such a manner, making them your villain to your victimhood, actually disempowers you. In order to empower yourself, you need to take accountability, let light into your life, and start taking responsibility for your actions, which will make you feel more reliable to yourself. It will make you be able to trust yourself again. I think that's a big thing you're dealing with, is not trusting yourself because you feel as if you have done yourself a disservice by giving so much to this situation. The other two colors the other color coming through here strong is the amethyst with this crown chakra, right? Purple. Because she's wearing like the dress is like filled with purple, right? And the amethyst is purple. Amethyst is connected to our psychic abilities. Our psychic abilities are connected to the ability to connect from the crown chakra to the higher powers. It's the top of the head, the consciousness of unity, connection to the higher self, higher powers, so on and so forth. And when the crown chakra is overactive, we have a high ego, right? So the challenge with the crown chakra is eliminating the ego and earthly attachments, physical attachments, the attachments you're connecting to with your imbalanced root chakra, right? So, and it's funny because the affirmation here on my chakra cheat list is, I am a divine being. Love and light is my language. And the card is light. Love and light comes into your current situation. You're not acting out of love right now. You're acting out of fear. So you're living in a fear-based world. So with the overactive crown chakra, it's superiority complex, lack of empathy, sensitivity to light, distrust, and rigid beliefs, a rigid belief system, a belief system that is not open to changing, a belief system that is set solid. You need to be open to hearing the truth. And the truth is that you have contributed to this situation. I'm sensing here kind of like a Bluebeard energy. You could be with somebody who you consider to be a narcissist or something. And as a result, you believe that you're like this empath who has been completely wronged and emotionally and spiritually abused by this narcissist. I am the right one to come to because I am a true believer in polarity. Just like the moon and the sun, north and south, these are polar quote unquote opposites. One cannot exist without the other. And just as one cannot exist without the other, there are also many similarities between what we consider to be these polar opposites. This is something I talk about in depth in my book, Lovesick. It's also something I talk in depth about on my Instagram, which you can follow me, Forever Untouchable. I don't want to get too deep into it now because I'm not sensing that for everybody. I just think that it's very important to point out that although narcissists or people with narcissistic personality disorder or people who are just kind of selfish in love, they wear a mask. The person who's also under their thumb, or the person who's also experiencing the short end of the stick, experience emotional, sometimes physical abuse, whatever it may be. And this is in no way victim blaming, but they also are wearing a mask as well. They wear a mask sometimes to protect their abuser. And also, more importantly, they wear a mask that, I'm not gonna lie guys, this one's getting a little heavy for me because this topic is something that I talked a lot about in my book, and I also have experienced it in my own life, and I should have the words for it. It's just very hard because it's a very in-depth topic. So I'm actually not going to get too far into it. If you're interested in learning more or understanding more, I would highly suggest starting, I guess, with my book, only because my book kind of breaks it down in a way that's easily understandable, and my book gives good recommendations of other places that you can go to research and look further into this idea, this concept, this theory of the narcissist and empath connection. But I'm going to go ahead and pull a card now with some words of wisdom, and then I'm going to go ahead and close it off. Yeah, we have emotions that came out. I feel like this card's relevant too, but visualization. So emotions came out. Let's go ahead and read this. Which is funny because the moon is out here. So emotions are high, and I feel like that's why it's hard for me to even speak right now. This is usually a topic that I think it's also due to my pregnancy. It's very hard for me to dig deep into emotions of, I think overall what I'm trying to say, I guess I can say this, is that you could be masking a sadness with anger and conviction. I guess that's the best way for me to say it, because that's how I have felt many times in my life, is that I just wanted to be sad about something and I never allowed myself to because I was too busy trying to be right. So let's read this. The beginning of something may be very close. People, situations, and ideas receive the attention they require. Perhaps a boost has been needed to get started or to uncover what may have been out of reach. Something will come through via the generosity of very focused attention. Could you also be the one to provide this? Be sure to think of others at the moment, as someone may need your help or guidance, but you may not be aware of this. This could also mean you are neglecting yourself and failing to be kind to you. Calm is being shown, a period of settling down after turmoil and a balancing of emotional energies. Challenges are moodiness, emotional manipulation, and volatile outbursts. It's a great time to breathe before you react or take offense to anything. And the affirmation is, I am calm and I am ready to begin. And the keywords are emotions, calm, compassion, generosity, beginnings, and moodiness. So the bird on the card too is the night songstress, passerine, nightingales. It's a nightingales. It's a nightingale. It's also known as the night songstress. And I'm going to go ahead and say that that's funny because I think you should go to my Bluebeard reading and really watch my Bluebeard reading. And that just came to me because I recorded the Bluebeard, the nightingale, and one other reading all at the same time. But the Bluebeard reading is very, 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 like, if you want something right this second, like you don't want to wait for my book to come in the mail, go watch my Bluebeard reading. I get very in depth about this concept of narcissism and empathy. But more importantly, I think music is something that will really help you connect to the emotions you're actually feeling versus and not, like we said, ego's an issue here. So not listening to music that's like, F this person and I'm the shit and da-da-da. Like, you need music that's gonna, you need to listen to some Billie Holiday. You need to listen to some Ella Fitzgerald. Like, you need to take it back to the blues and get sad and feel your feels, because only once you can get sad like that can you humble yourself to just admit that you loved someone who just wasn't right for you. And with that will come the love and the light needed to heal. So visualization. The time is approaching when you will receive what it is you have dreamed of, so be ready. The answer is yes to questions, and perhaps with added dimensions you hadn't really thought of before. Goal planning and setting, checking in, resolutions, and reorganizations will all benefit from this card. This flower will help you see what is possible and then extend to an even higher and bigger possibilities. Psychic abilities, messages, and readings are all indicated, and you may find yourself exploring these skills and gifts yourself with positive outcomes. Arts and creative activities, which turn into jobs, are also strongly associated with this flower. Be careful of getting lost in pipe dreams, losing touch with reality, and not putting action into your plans, which is all very significant to Virgo season. At this point, I'm going to say, especially because this card is recommending to use messages and readings, and if you're seeing this reading and this is resonating with you, watch Bluebeard, but also watch my Virgo reading that I'm about to post about all the 12 zodiac signs and what Virgo season is going to bring to you. This card is literally screaming Virgo energy because it talks about goal planning and setting, checking in, resolutions, and reorganization, which is going to be the main topic of what I'm talking about in the Virgo readings. I'm going to be pulling cards on love, career, and kind of going forward with the lessons you may have learned in the beginning of the year and how to apply them during Virgo season. So the affirmation is, what I visualize, I can create. And this is exactly in regard to the life you're visualizing now and the story you're creating now, the narrative you're creating now. You're creating a narrative where you're a victim and this other person is a villain. You can recreate that. You can become a victor in your story, a superhero, main character, whatever it is. But you don't have to necessarily name somebody as the antagonist. Somebody doesn't have to be the villain or the enemy, right? And the keywords are visualization, inspiration, aspiration, wonder, limitless, and disbelief. I know it's hard to believe a lot of the things I'm saying. It's going to be hard to believe the Bluebeard reading. It's going to probably be hard to believe the Zodiac reading, but try your best to get out of this rigid thought process that we talked about with the overactive crown chakra and move into a place of open-heartedness and openness, and I promise there will be some changes you will see in your life probably almost immediately. The messages will start pouring in like a flood after that. So I'm going to go ahead and close this off here. I hope that this was helpful to you. I will post the links to those readings I recommended in here right at the end of this video, especially because you're number 4. You'll see the Zodiac reading right at the end over here recommended. And I hope that you have a favored and fortunate rest of your day.